Sam, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So let's jump right into it. What's your morning routine like? What does it look like in the life of Sam McDadi?
Well, it's interesting. I think with the COVID experience, it's, I've always liked to train in the morning, but it's given me an opportunity to do a few more things along the way. So usually it's yoga 6 days a week in-house. Then I'm doing a workout with Ian. He used to be actually Mr. Former National Universe, so great trainer. And then now I'm doing boxing 3 times a week as well. So so my morning is Sam time, and after that it's go time, and it's real estate and everything else associated to that as well. But that's just
Sam, you have a bit of me and a bit of David, because David likes to box, and I'm a yogi. So there you go.
It's a good hybrid, right? Good mix.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, the cardio on boxing, I mean, it's just crazy. I remember the first 3 minutes I spent in the ring. It felt like a lifetime, right? So it really gets your adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm just starting, so I'm kind of new to it, but I'm really enjoying it. And the gentleman who's training me is great. He used to, compete at an amateur level. So it's a lot of fun. And cardio is unbelievable, which is half the battle as well. I think that's why I started doing it as well. So because we can't play tennis, Dave. You've been ducking me in tennis for all these years now. So I had to figure something else to do cardio-wise.
Well, let me ask you this question. You mentioned a lot of trainers, right? Why work with trainers? Why bring in that sort of level of mentorship and that level of people that can actually coach and teach you? Why go through all that?
Well, it holds me accountable, right? So I know I've got to do my yoga 6 days a week. Diane's here, 8 or 9 in the morning, and then Ian. So, and number 2, they're experts. They know what they're doing. They make sure I do everything properly, good form, all the above, right? So I think it's all the above: motivation, accountability, and they're experts in their field. So all of the above, right? So I think it's really paramount. If I didn't have them, as much as I think I'm a self-starter and fairly disciplined, it'd be easy for me to miss workouts and things would slip through the cracks. But that keeps me pure for sure.
That's awesome. So it's the accountability and it's learning from the
best. Yeah, for sure.
If you want to become the best, you gotta learn from the best as well, the best in the field.
Yeah, I agree, for sure.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about your story. Where did it all begin for you in real estate?
It wasn't that I ever set forth to be a realtor. When I was younger, I had a love and passion for the game of tennis. So I was fortunate enough to get a scholarship many years back, and then did an MBA, and I thought I was going to work in the corporate finance sector, and did that for a couple of years. And, I realized I wasn't really happy. In fact, I was probably miserable, right? And so I thought, if I have to do something for 40 years, let's find something where I can find some passion. And I kind of stumbled into real estate. It wasn't something, like I said, I thought about, but quickly I realized, I really love this. This kind of fits my personality. I like working with people. I like the flexibility. I like the fact there's no glass ceilings. If you work hard, you get rewarded. So, it became a really good fit for me. And I never felt like I was working. I thought, this is it, right? This is where I need to be. And if you do it for the wrong reasons, just for money, but you don't like what you're doing, then you're never going to succeed. For me, it was about taking care of the clients, and hopefully the money will take care of itself, which is, over time what happens. So,
right. If you love what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Yeah, and that's really important. I'd probably say 80-90% of the people don't really like what they do, and that's really unfortunate, because that means, they spend a third to half of their life in a vocation unhappy, then they can't really translate that to being happy with their family and friends and all the above. So I think, finding, passion and happiness in your workplace is paramount to, being happy and fulfilled.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you, 100%. Let's talk about COVID-19 a little bit. How has COVID impacted your business? How have you pivoted? What changes have you sort of implemented in your business since this whole pandemic started?
Yeah, I remember I was at a Nick Nurse fundraiser mid-March, and things were still business as usual. And that night, when we're still at the fundraiser, and there's a few players there like Serge Ibaka, they announced one of the players, Rudy Gobert, got tested positive, and the last team they played was the Raptors. So we're like, oh, this isn't a good deal. Here they are, and and in the same night they suspended the season, and from there, Leafs got suspended and everything. The world as we knew it changed. The first few weeks was just trying to understand what was happening. It was just so, nobody expected this to play out. And the first 10 weeks for us was really, really strong, probably our best ever. So I kept saying, I hope the government doesn't step in. We just never thought a virus would take us out, right? So It was, but at the end, it kind of made you realize, because a lot of times you just do business the way you know it, and it kind of allowed you to think about things differently. We started doing virtual CMAs, and it was pretty effective. I mean, you can, obviously at some point you want to fine tune the figures, but it allowed you to realize, hey, you can do things differently and maybe be more effective and efficient, because, it you were forced to think that way, right? So, and I think, to me, I was telling my teammates, listen, nothing lasts forever. This is a great buying opportunity for your clients. If they have the courage to go against the crowd, they'll do really well. And I think 2 weeks into it, I bought a property that was probably about 20% below market. And I was really happy I did, because now the market's changed again. So it's a short-lived phenomenon for 30, 45 days where people were just unsure and trying to get their bearings, and, the roads were empty, and, life was different, right? Where I think, to me, it also makes you realize, and I was telling my team a lot as well too, that you've got to save for a rainy day as well, because, a lot of times you don't know what's going to hit you. In this case here, it came out of nowhere. And if you didn't have some money set aside, you're going to have some financial stress, and that's a killer for sure, right? So, and there was a study that came out that showed that 50% of the population couldn't go beyond 2 weeks without a paycheck. That's pretty scary, right? So after 14 days, half the population would be snookered, right? So for me, it was also trying to mentor my team to try and think about building residual income, being smart, saving for a rainy day, because, it was a lot of uncertainty, a bit of boredom, but if you compound that with financial duress, then, there's some mental aspect of health issues that were surfacing for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, the mental stress on, combining everything that was going on in the world with financial crisis is just a lot to deal with, a lot to take in. And you touch on a lot of points. I mean, in our industry, we earn a lot of money. Like you mentioned, there's no glass ceilings, but at the same time, we have to be disciplined in what we do with our finances. And that's something that we really take to heart here at Sutton Realty, and we really teach, because like you said, you have to be prepared for the worst. And this is a really good eye-opener for a lot of people when it comes to their finances.
I think so. I mean, I think nobody saw this coming to like this extent, and I think, and we're still not out of it, because I think a lot of these small businesses are coming back, and the amount of money they're pumping into the economy is going to, there's some repercussions. So we've still got some issues to deal with, and it's kind of, I mean, not to get into the COVID-19 experience, but I mean, to me, it's interesting now they're opening things up, and nothing really materially changed. Like what happened from 30 days ago to now to say, okay, we can start opening things up. I mean, the cases are still pretty high, but anyway, I guess that's government's decision how they move forward with that. But yeah.
Sam, have you, through your experience through real estate, also felt like I've always heard people say that we don't have a pension plan as such, and agents have to work forever to maintain a lifestyle because it's hard. We have no fallback plan, but it's so sad, because one thing that's guaranteed, and my mom as an investor used to always say this, is that one thing that's guaranteed is the population of the earth growing, but the land not growing. And us as realtors, like, I mean, I feel like the one thing we can tell our own is go out and purchase when you get the chance. You're doing that for your clients. Do it for yourself,
Yeah, listen, I think if you're in real estate, you should be a believer in real estate. And I'm such a believer of bricks and mortars. To me, that's what I know. So I invest in real estate, be it, bricks and mortars, being given out mortgages, etc. But it's a space I know and I'm comfortable in it. And I think, some people who, prefer the equity game, that's fine. But I think, it can crash real quick and it's just a piece of paper, right? I think real estate, even if it drops 10%, to your point, I mean, they're not making any more land. It's always coming back. The GTA is vibrant. And so you could be subject to ebbs and flows, but that's not lasting for sure.
Yeah.
I think there could be a strong argument made that there's no better place to invest in real estate in the world, right? You look at our healthcare, look at our immigration policy, clean air, clean water, safety, security, healthcare. I mean, where else are you going to get that in the world?
Yeah, listen, GTA we're very bullish on, and I think you can't go wrong, right? And historically speaking, prices double every 10 years in the GTA, right? So you can't pick tops or bottoms, right? But that you're going to do well. You're going to see appreciation. For sure. Sorry, guys, I think the call was coming in. So, yeah, I just think, be bullish on real estate in the GTA for sure. It's not one industry based like, out west where if oil's doing well, real estate will flourish. If it's not, then, you're going to see a big drop in pricing. I mean, we're, a perfect place to invest regardless if one economy or one sector of the market doesn't do well.
Sam, you deal a lot with luxury real estate. How have the impacts been on COVID-19 on the luxury real estate?
I would say the first 2 to 4 weeks, everything was affected. Right now people are a little bit guarded, just trying to decide, if they want to make a big purchase and if they think prices will drop. But having said that, I'm hopefully going to have an offer on a property today in Mississauga that's in the $6 to $7 million range for one of my buyers. So, they're still out there. I mean, they're cautious because they know that there might be a bit of an adjustment, but